the Winnipeg/Atlanta franchise has never won a playoff game. That's about to change, methinks. They'll open up their series with the Wild on Wednesday. John Shannon, ready to talk some playoffs?
Hey, I'm ready for the next 60 days, Kenny. Let's go.
Fun starts up on Wednesday night. We're going to talk about the Western Conference. Jets are going to be front and center here on Sportsnet. Wild, Jets starting Wednesday. Winnipeg, deep hockey team.
Deep, fast, big. That's what these guys are. It's amazing when you think of the 91 points that Blake Wheeler put on the board this year. 44 goals for Patrick Laine. Kyle Connor, the rookie, with 31 more. Nick Ehlers with 29 goals, and the point a game for Mark Scheifele, 60 points in 60 games. This is a team that can score and can skate. And I haven't even talked about Paul Stastny, who they got at the trade deadline. They are going to be a force at both ends of the ice.
And they also have a guy this year who can stop pucks, because if I take the time machine back to October, I kept hearing if the Winnipeg Jets get goaltending, they will be a playoff team. They got some goaltending from Connor Hellebuyck.
They did. I mean, now he holds the record for 44 wins, the most by a U.S.-born goaltender in the history of the National Hockey League. He's going to get challenged, though. This is a team in the Wild that still has some goal scorers. Zach Parise has been very good the last month. Eric Stahl had the quietest 42 goals, I think, in the history of the National Hockey League. And Jason Zucker, 33 goals. This team can score goals as well, but they're going to be hurt. No Ryan Suter on the blue line. And Jared Spurgeon, who will skate on Tuesday, is still a question mark for Game 1.
Okay, let's focus in on the Avs and the Preds. I'm not going to paint the Avs with the "we're just happy to be there" kind of brush. Some may. What's the biggest concern for Nashville in this series?
Get out healthy and get out quick. Let's face it, they have the best defense in the National Hockey League. All four of the big guys can do everything, score and play defense. To me, the Preds have to win this in 5 or less. That was the key last year. They swept Chicago, got them all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Vegas
and L.A. Can the Golden Knights keep this story going?
Well, there's one guy that can keep the story going in my mind, and that is the guy who's won the Stanley Cup. He's got his name on the trophy 3 times. The key will be Marc-Andre Fleury. He won 29 of those games for the Golden Knights this year. He was so good, particularly when they needed him to be. In many ways, the second half of the season was how good was Fleury. That made the Golden Knights that good. But they're going to face a team. Let's face it. They're going to go against a team, Kenny, that still scares a lot of people. Anze Kopitar, Jeff Carter, Drew Doughty, Jonathan Quick, if he can regain form. The LA Kings, they still play California hockey. They may be a little faster, but they're pretty darn big.
Yeah, they're heavy. They're heavy for sure. Ducks, Sharks. So let's call Evander Kane the Taylor Hall of the West, because this is a guy who's finally going to play some playoff hockey. San Jose, we've been waiting for years for them to kind of get over that hump. Is Kane the guy that can do it for them? Well,
I think they actually blew it in the last 2 weeks of the season. They had home ice. They could have been at home for games 1 and 2. Anaheim snuck up and changed the whole perspective. In my mind, you have to look at Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaf, Ryan Kessler. Do those 3 old war horses have it again to get through this? They're going to grind the Sharks down. It could go 7 games, but you have to wonder if the Ducks can do it again.
So based on what you're telling me, there are no easy matchups in the West in the first round?
None.
Always a pleasure, Shanny.
See you tomorrow.
The Stanley Cup playoffs open up on Wednesday with 3 games. Wild, Jets, 7 Eastern time on Sportsnet. Flyers, Penguins, 7 Eastern on CBC. And the Kings and Golden Knights, 10 Eastern on CBC and Sportsnet 360.